The domain controller can even have the 2003.
That's right. Domain controller doesn't matter. It can be running Windows Server 2008. Yeah, it really doesn't matter too much. One of the first tools in pre-upgrade is the pre-upgrade check tool. This is your friend. Pre-upgrade check. Write this one down. Very important. This tool ships in Service Pack 2. Built right into the product. It's a new command in STS-ADM. STS-ADM. So essentially, you can see on the screen up on top. STS-ADM-O, your operation, and then pre-upgrade check. So it's built-in tool, it's built-in operation, and we can see here pass, fail, and information. 3 different types of information here. The green and red give us pass, fail, and then we can see information as well. The most important thing to understand about pre-upgrade check is the fact that it's read-only, does nothing to your data. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. The next thing is understanding that this is actually it's a best practices tool. Don't just think of it as an upgrade tool. This is a tool you can be running today. It's analyzing what's wrong with your environment. I encourage people to be running this frequently. Run it now and run it regularly. Since recommending this, I know customers that run it on a weekly basis. When this runs, it outputs a report. There's actually 3 files. Even though it mentions 1, there's 3 files. There's a log file, there's an XML file, and then there's a web-based HTML report. All 3 of those are important. The log file has granular information about where it finds problems. The XML file is great if you're doing it over time and you want to hand the XML files to a developer and say, tell me what's changed. Now you've actually got data that you can work with. And the third one, the web-based report, is a nice report you can share around. It's self-containing. You can send this HTML file, you can email it to somebody, even. Yeah. Question? Now, just looking at this report, just here, what can we see are the problems? First thing we see is site definition info failed. It's a problem with site definitions. Next thing we see is features. It's got a problem with features. The third thing we see is OS prerequisite failed. Now going back to that original requirement, or this original question of what if I'm not running 64-bit or Windows Server 2003 and it tells me it failed, doesn't mean that you can't upgrade if you're doing a database attach. But you do need to be running Service Pack 2, which, if you're able to run this report, you're running it. So this is, this is a collection of pieces from that report. The first section, we see the site definition. can see at the end, status equals missing. Missing a site definition. If you were to upgrade, those sites will fail. Anything that's referenced to a site definition that's missing will fail. In this next section, we see features. We see at the bottom, we see at the very end, status equals missing. Before that, we see scope. Scope equals web. So what this is telling us is this a site or a site collection? And how many, or the scope of the feature? And the GUID reference for the site, or the feature that's missing. It's somewhat complex to try and track down a missing feature if all you have is the GUID, G-U-I-D. Most commonly, these are people who had features installed originally, then they moved the data to another server, they didn't move the features over, so they're missing from the new environment. Again, if you upgrade and with missing features, those sites might be broken. Okay, they may upgrade, they might not. And then here, one of my favorite sections of pre-upgrade check is information. Here we have a list of alternate access mappings. You won't get this documentation anywhere else. It's very key information about your farm, how you're configured. From this report, you'll get cool things like, how many sites do I have? What are the servers in my farm? How is search configured? How large are my databases? And really, it's telling you about your dependencies. Here's all of the site definitions you have in your farm. Here's all the features you have in your farm. So it's great information for disaster recovery. Probably the best tool out there for being able to understand how you're currently configured. So don't dismiss this as, oh, I'm going to upgrade eventually. I'll run that tool sometime. No. Run this tool now, as soon as you can, and start understanding the configuration of your farm. Another tool for you. This is a pre-upgrade check tool, essentially, for SharePoint 2010. This is a PowerShell script in PowerShell commandlet in SharePoint 2010. And the way that this works is you run the command, you pass it the database name, and which web application you're going to attach it to. And it'll tell you what's wrong with this database if you add it into the farm. It's like, what if I were to add this database? And it'll tell you, you're missing this assembly, you're missing this web part package, you're missing this feature, you're missing this site definition. What I really like about this tool, even though it's text-based, it tells you what problems you're going to have if you add the database. The errors almost match up identically with the upgrade error log. It's actually pretty amazing.